Welcome, everyone, back to another Saturday night at TTRP Theater. I am your host, DM Lake, and I will be leading this poor excuse of a current party through the dangers and horrors of the realm of Barovia. Let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and throw it to them. Go ahead and start going through the order and let the players introduce themselves. Let's start with, let's say, the top and work our way clockwise. Java, why don't you go first?
Hey guys, I'm Tamara. I play Shava. At the moment, she's just kind of getting to know this new group of hers, and she's really wondering what happened to the priest just now and whether or not she should go investigate.
Simple enough. Curtis.
Hi, my name is Curtis. I play William Catesby, a cleric. And state of mind, I'm pretty, I don't know. I'm curious about this creature we just saw suck that guy down into the ground. So some excitement's about to happen, and I'm on edge.
We'll see what comes of it. Izzy!
Hey, I'm Izzy. You don't know me, but you could know me over at the TTRP Discord server, link in the chat usually and below. I am currently playing a character by the name of Dirk Hardsteel, a half-orc, and that's a phone going off. A half-orc salesman of some sort of tincture that he's been trying to push onto other people. And his last thoughts before so rudely cutting away last session was, damn, there goes my sale.
I was going to credit you on your professionalism, and then your phone rang. Zoe!
Hi everyone, I'm Zoe Trooper. I am currently playing Vinka Delphine Cherrybottom, a halfling warlock who has an obsession with puzzles. Based on what happened last session, she is currently in the mindset that she is trapped in some sort of puzzle land and she needs to find her way out of here because none of this can possibly be real. It's not 700 years in the past. Forget all that.
What possible explanation could ever be had for being that far in the past away from your current timeline? As last the party checked, they were in somewhere in the year 700, whereas the current timeline had them set closer to the year around 1460. 700-something years unaccounted for previous. On top of that, they were beset by a strange fog that carried a monster with it that kidnapped the father of the local church with which they were trying to settle in so that they could have a proper funeral done for the father of Ismark and Arena, two individuals they had met in town. What happens next? Well, we're going to be getting to that in a moment here on Curse of Strahd. So, in the last moments before we cut away, you all were deciding what next to do as you saw the strange creature grab Father Donovich, disappear into smoke, and flow down beneath the floorboards. Down from below, you heard the young boy Doru call out, "Finally! I'm so hungry!" And then you begin to hear scraping noises, like something digging or cleaving its way through stone. And now it's time for you all to make a decision.
I think that's a bit of a lost cause. Good thing that apparently Father had some food on him. Maybe we should just get going. You know, plausible deniability goes a long way.
The monsters disappeared on us?
It
I mean-
seemed to flow down with the fog down through the floor.
You mentioned last session that there's like a near impenetrable mist darkness going on. So can we actually see each other?
At the moment, not quite so well. No, this is not going to work. This. There we go.
In that case, Vinka, knowing that part of like the key players here, people she needs to escort, Arena, Ismark, are you all right?
From somewhere in the fog, closer off towards your right and behind you, you hear, "I'm all right. There doesn't seem to be anything with the problem here. I'm as well."
Can I head in the direction of their voices?
It's simple enough. There is a lot of rubble on the floor, so you kind of have to keep watching your footing, but there's nothing in your way until you start to make your way down through the hallway itself. After a few moments, that scraping noise from down below you slowly dies out, and you start to hear the father screaming, "No! Toro! Do not hurt me! Don't do this!" And as he begins to call that out, the mist seems to start to raise upwards as if being blown from below or caught in a net that drags it up through the ceiling, and it starts to dissipate out through the hole and spread off into the night air.
Well, so much for plausible deniability. If you guys were to have acted a little sooner, now we're stuck in this mess. Okay.
Do we need to go downstairs? Is there a way down to see? I feel like we should go help the father.
I too worry about the safety of the father.
Not found the way downstairs yet, and there does not appear to be any cellar door here in the open chapel.
Well, these floors must be pretty thin if we can hear them that clearly. I guess I could just bust a hole in the floor if you really want me to.
The only thing you see in terms of doors are the main door that leads into the church proper and the 4 doors that lead off to 4 separate rooms, of which you are not sure what's inside any of those. 2 on the east wall, 2 on the west wall.
Which wall is closer to Shava, I guess?
We'll say east.
Yes, I'm just gonna kind of look around at everyone, and I'm just gonna walk to the closest door and just open it.
All right. Opening up that door, you see that is what looks like an office. An old desk and chair stand against the south wall, a wooden holy symbol mounted above them, a sunburst. A 10-foot-long iron rod attached to the north wall stands bare, suggesting a tapestry once hung there. Against the far wall stands a wooden cabinet with 4 tall doors. And as that door opens, you hear another echo of, "Stop fighting!"
I'm going to, I would have followed Shava over and peered in that room as she opened it. I'm going to hit the next door while she's checking out that first room.
All right. Making your way down to that next door, opening this one up, time and neglect have punched holes in the ceiling of this moldy room, which contains a few broken roof shingles amid puddles of water. In one corner, set into the floor, is a heavy wooden trap door held shut with a chain and padlock.
I think I found something.
Shava would approach.
Yeah, if you wanted to check out that other room a little bit more, I didn't mean to steal your thunder on the investigation. If you wanted to look around.
No, I just wanted to trying to find a way down to the basement, so she just looked in.
Okay. So I'm going to approach the trap door. You said it was chained shut, or no?
There is a chain run over it with a padlock sealing it shut.
Does anyone know how to pick a lock?
I know how to break a lock.
Shava will say, yeah, I can probably get it, as she kind of ruffles through her bag. for her lockpick.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a thieves tools check.
Yelling at the floor is Vinka going, "It's okay, Father, we're coming for you."
Please help me.
That doesn't sound good.
All right, with a 15, you take to this padlock. It does not appear to be overly difficult to unpick, just sturdy in its frame. It only takes you a few moments of working with it before it easily comes undone, and you can remove it from the chain proper. With that, it's easy enough to slide the chain out of the way so it's no longer covering the trapdoor.
Excellent job, Shava.
I'm just kind of nod at you as you say that.
Shall we go down? Izzy, you ready to go down?
Yes, your loyal bodyguard is here. Loyally paid bodyguard is going to follow you down there.
I noticed that you said paid. Just because you keep saying paid does not mean you're getting paid at the end.
Remember him saying he was going to work for free?
Paid in love, that's what I meant. Let's
You're-
get close, guys.
You're absolutely right. Who's going down first? Is it stairs or a ladder?
You haven't opened the trapdoor yet.
Oh. I'm going to fling that bad boy open. Good job, Shava. Fling that open.
You go to grab it and give it a pull, and you immediately realize it's swollen in its frame from all the water.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
If you want to open it, you're going to have to make a strength check.
Move over, skinny legs. I got you.
Well, hold on. Let me check my strength here real quick and see if I can't do something.
All right.
See, I'm strong.
You wedge your fingers down around either side, and just with one solid lift with your legs, never your back, you rip it up from the top. It tears open, splintering in some places, but remaining intact overall as the swollen, wet wood pops free of the hatch and allows you to see down below. There is very little light down below, almost pitch black with the rain above and the lack of light sources down below. There is a single ladder that descends about 15 feet down to a ledge and stairs that descend even farther down from that.
Who wants to lead?
Shopper would like to sneak down the ladder, if that's possible.
Stop resisting!
Yeah.
Hurry.
So you start to creep down the ladder as quietly as you can.
Hey there.
Yes.
Hey there, nerd. You got kind of short legs here. Do you want to jump on my back and we can charge down there real quick?
She looks almost offended, and no thank you. I can make it on my own.
Okay, I jump down the ladder.
Okay. You drop 15 feet down to the level below. And just because I'm assuming you're doing this on purpose, make me an acrobatics check. You fall poorly on your leg, take 3 points of bludgeoning damage, and land prone at the foot of the ladder.
So much for Shava stopping.
Like, Shopper will just look at him as he falls to the ground.
There is a cacophony of metal clinking and noise as it echoes throughout the bottom chamber. You hear Father Enemies calls, "Please hurry!" While the voice says, "Stay back! I don't want you. I just want him."
I'm okay.
Are you
Yes,
all-
we're not-
Are you all right?
Yep. Just getting a good feel for how the terrain down here is. Cold floor.
You nearly tumbled down the stairs underneath Shava, which would have been a nightmare into itself. But as you both descend your way down here, you can see the church's undercroft has rough-hewn walls and a floor made of damp clay and earth. Rotting wooden pillars strain under the weight of the wooden ceiling. Candlelight from the chapel above slips through the cracks, allowing you a glimpse of the area beneath, but not enough to see properly.
Hell yeah.
I can come down and I'm going to come downstairs. We'll follow my party and I will cast a light spell. Shed a little light on the situation.
All right.
From the floor.
Finka also follows down.
As the remainder of you start to follow downstairs, and William, you cast a brief light spell and allow it to illuminate the within areas of this undercroft. You can see two figures are down here still. One, a familiar figure, which appears to be Father Donovich, who is currently laying, smacking back and forth, like trying to fight off an animal or something. And above him is a lithe, slender figure that it seems to be trying to grab down onto him and latch onto his face. But he continues to be shoved off and refuted. So as he kind of leers his head up and sees all of you, he stands up slowly, extending his hands out as if to cleave at you with them and says, "Don't come closer.
And this
I'm
is
only going to warn you once."
This is that creepy red thing that we saw last week, right?
This is not. There is no sign of that.
Oh, this is something.
This appears to be a young boy. Maybe 17, 18. I shouldn't say boy, young man.
Let the father up.
No. He locked me down here. Starved me. I'm hungry.
Well, you know, flesh doesn't taste that good. I got some rations for you.
I don't care about his flesh. I want his blood.
Ooh.
And he
Pardon?
again reaches down trying to get a good hold of the father. But every time he does, there seems to be something just holding him back from doing it.
I'm slightly confused. Is this kid like suspended from the ceiling?
No, he's just standing over the father.
Oh, the father's like prone.
He's laying on the ground, yes.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Sheesh.
You know, I support teenage rebellion at the best of times, but I don't think this is the correct way to go through this discourse. How about, and Jerk will start stepping forward. How about you and we have a little conversation here, and we can work this out.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm proficient.
15. As you go to say that, you see his hands finally latch onto the shoulders of the father, and he just kind of leans over, looking up at you, and says, "It's you or him."
I'm gonna ready my crossbow.
Yeah, I want to ready a spell.
Then I think we need to roll initiative. Give me 1 second. I'll move you all over to a battle map. I believe, William, you do have your light on. Just give me a second to double check that.
Yeah, I think I can see.
Yep, you're good. All right, everybody, click your tokens. Let's roll initiative.
We're in my Yes.
Oh no, you can see my hidden name on there. I'm gonna have to change that. Oh, that sucks. Oh well.
Okay.
Alrighty then. In descending order, we start. Shava, you have taken the initiative in this combat encounter.
Yeah, so the first thing Shava would do is take the owl cage off of her waist, and she just place it here in the corner
Okay.
before drawing her rapier. And I guess I'll move. This is the sun that's setting up.
Yes. The one that is not laying on the ground is the sun.
So she'll walk over to him, and as a bonus action, as she's moving, she casts Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Then she's gonna take a swipe at him.
All right. As you wave your spell onto him and slide in position to stab your rapier home, he just kind of leers over to one side and nimbly leans out of the way of it. Far more dexterous than you would have expected a man like this to be.
That ends her turn.
That is yours, William.
I already readied the bolt, so I'm just going to let a crossbow bolt fly.
That will hit.
Dirty 20. And hang on, I got one chat in one window and another chat in another. Here we go.
As your bolt slams into his shoulder, there's a brief second where it embeds itself, and the end of it smatters and splinters off into pieces. As you see, it barely makes an impact and just slides out and drops to the floor in half. He seems to be very resistant to that type of attack. His skin is almost stone-like.
That makes me nervous. Let's see. That'll end my turn.
Okay. Vinka.
Okay, so what she would like to do is kind of head on through. I'm going to do this separately because I can't. I'm on push to talk. So she's about there, and she sees everyone just going to town on this kid. They're playing for keeps. She's not necessarily playing for keeps. She's going to use Frostbite to hopefully slow him down and still have a chance at resolving this peacefully.
Okay. Oh, you're using Frostbite. Okay. I thought I heard Ray of Frost, but you're right. That is Frostbite. The frost begins to slowly coalesce on his body, seeming to freeze his clothes to his chest. As he will take that damage.
Okay, and Vinka will say, "Father, you want to get out of there now."
You could say that, but you realize as he tries to scramble away, the Doro, or the young boy, still has a hand gripping his shirt and not letting him go anywhere. Dirk.
Okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to take care of this the old-fashioned way. Dirk will pull out a warhammer, and he has a shield equipped to his other hand. And he will 5, 10, 15, 20 get to here. And give this kid a good old whacking on the back of the head.
You go to swing your warhammer, and it lands solidly as he leans over the side and to the side of his shoulder, but it's much like swinging a mace into a tree. It just kind of bounces off without any effect, and his eyes dart back and forth between the two of you, clearly a little more panicked that an actual fight has come to him.
Okay.
All right. I believe that's your turn. We come to the boy. As for that moment, he is going to reach over with his free hand, and he is going to swipe at the nearest person in range, which at the moment is you, Shaba.
No.
With the disadvantage, he is going to get a 9 as he just swipes wide, unable to move properly because of the ice that is forming all over his body. He is going to make a second swing, though, trying to find something. That's going to be a natural 20. As his claws rend across your chest for 12 points of slashing damage.
Holy moly.
And as he does that, you realize something to your horror, that the wound in his shoulder, that which was inflicted by the crossbow bolt, slowly begins to close and seal itself until it doesn't look like there was any damage there done at all. Shava, it is now your turn again.
Yeah. So Shaba, a little upset. She's gonna take another swing at him.
Okay.
If you didn't, it's fine. But Frostbite gives them disadvantage on their next attack roll until
He missed his first.
Okay.
That was his second attack.
I guess you can't really beat a nat 20.
Well, no, he made his first attack. It missed. But then he made a second attack.
Right.
Right on the second one.
All right, yes, yeah, that will hit Shaba. All right. All right, that stabs into his ribs. And you feel a significant amount of resistance as you are fighting for every single centimeter of damage you do to him. The skin itself seeming to be too hard for your blade to properly stab into. And as soon as you are pulling away, you swear you see that skin beginning to knit itself back together.
Oh, no, I'm just going to roll Hunter Mark real quick. But yeah, it doesn't do anything either.
It does not do anything.
Just nothing. That's your turn.
Alrighty. William.
What kind of action does it take to, like, I wanted to move up and grab the father and pull him away.
That will be your action.
That is
You
the
can try and
action.
do that.
Let's see, 5, 10, 15. Can you move diagonally on these squares?
You can, so long as you're not moving through something. Like, you wouldn't be able to move through this railing.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I didn't realize that's what that was. All right, so 5, 10, 15. I think I can get to him. And how far back can I go with him?
Let's see here. You could grab him and pull him away from Doru. That would be your best bet. For that, go ahead and make me an athletics check.
You bet.
It's not that the father is resisting you, it's that Doru is not letting go.
Gotcha. Yeah, and father looks a little portly. Hang on. Wrong page. Say strength?
And be athletics.
Athletics.
So you grab onto his shoulders and you start to pull, and even with both hands, as you're pulling with all your might, his grip on the father's shirt is so secure that you cannot move him anywhere.
Right. Now, my spell book shows that I can cast Shield of Faith as a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do that?
Sure. Bonus action.
It says, for me and a creature of my choice. So since I can't pull him away, I'm going to throw a shield over me and him.
All right. Well, it's one creature of your choice.
Oh. Then I'm going to throw it over him.
Alrighty.
Because I'm a nice guy.
You grab your holy symbol, you begin to incant, and as you do, a spectral silver shield appears in the air floating above Father Donovich to shelter him from any blows that may try to breach and cause him harm. All right.
That doesn't affect the grip that he's got on him or anything, does it?
It does not affect it.
Okay. All right.
Okay. She's going to move into a more advantageous position, hopefully not to snipe any of her friends on the back. And she's going to flip through her massive tome, pick a spell that looks like a very well-used page, and cast Eldritch Blast.
As you flip to the top of that page, you realize there's something scrawled at the top you're not used to, and it says, "You're in for a fight. Watch for the bite." Go ahead and roll your Eldritch Blast. Go ahead and roll that again as it sails past Doru, and there's still someone in that line of fire.
No, I have lucky because I'm a halfling. So.
Oh, you do have lucky because
Yes,
you're a halfling. Alrighty.
I anticipated all the ones I roll, and I am ready for this.
So that will actually hit the
Yay,
boy.
Zoe.
Go ahead and roll damage. That's broken.
That is max damage.
That is a blank damage roll. I do not see that. What have you done to your character sheet?
That's blank on my side.
All right,
Too.
that is 1 point of damage as it just kind of pings off the side of his leg, and he just kind of looks down at it for a moment, but doesn't seem to even really acknowledge what's going on with it. Okay.
I don't even. How do I roll so many ones?
Ask Roman. Sorry, you can't. Dirk. Comes back to you as you all swarm around him, seemingly trying to just get the better of this one man.
Have none of you ever been in a real fight before? Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm going to, as a bonus action, activate my fighting spirit, which will give me temp HP and allow me to attack at advantage for the turn.
Okay.
And I'm going to swing with my Warhammer over here.
Alrighty. A 16 just hits.
Okay. And the bludgeoning.
Yep. As you slam into his skin, it kind of reverberates throughout the chamber again, like you've struck stone or wood, and the damage that it does to the boy seems superficial at best. Just a small mark in the skin.
Okay, and I am going to activate my action surge.
Okay.
And I am going to strike again.
Alrighty.
Wow.
That will be a miss.
What are my rolls today?
Yeah. As you go to swing again, his hand reaches up and you clip him on the end of the fingers, but it just knocks his hand away instead of doing any real damage.
Well.
All right. That is your turn. Seeing the shield start to float over the father, the boy kind of looks back and forth as if trying to make a decision. And then in some realization, he releases the father and then turns his full attention on Shava.
Oh no.
And this is after, unfortunately, the damage you all have dealt still seems to be recovering, as all of the wounds you have caused seem to disappear. He is going to reach out and try and claw Shava. That is a natural one. That is not going to hit anybody.
Take that.
His second one is a second natural one as he fruitlessly scrambles, swinging wildly, catching the pillars. Actually, you know what? He's going to catch one of those pillars. And as he knocks it over, I'm going to need Shava, him, and the father to make me dex saves. This is going to be a disadvantage because he's the one that caused this. Shava, you dodge out of the way nimbly with no issue. He's going to get a really low score as rubble from the ceiling falls down. The father's going to get a bonus. The father succeeds too. Hey, he rolls out of the way. As parts of the rotten ceiling above collapse from the weight of this beam, just being cleaved in half and fall onto his head, dealing him... Come on, die. Stop disappearing. Well, he's not a... a small amount of damage, seeming more inconveniencing than anything. We come back to you, Shava.
Yeah, so Shava, noticing that he's kind of healing, she's going to take a chance, and she's going to go with her free hand rifling through her bag until she locates her flask of holy water.
Okay.
She's going to throw it on him.
Okay. Go ahead and... Well,
it's ranged, right?
It is a ranged attack, which leads us to two things. First of all, you're not proficient with holy water.
Oh.
So
yeah.
you're going to lose your that's a -2 to that, which is okay. But since you're throwing at somebody who's within 5 feet of you, the attack rolls at disadvantage.
I'll roll it again without the proficiency. Yes.
So actually just click Dex. All right. You go to splash it on him, and in that instance, I'm going to say it's at minimal effect. You only managed to splash a little bit on him. Go ahead and roll me 1d6. All right. As the water seems to splash over his arm, you see steam begin to flow up into the air. And as the water burns away, the veins under his pallid white skin glow black, as if they are on fire on the inside. And he clearly does not seem to have liked that. But I believe that is your turn, Shava.
It is.
Come to William.
I would like to try to channel divinity and turn undead. Not turn undead, but turn the undead.
All right.
What do I roll? Do I roll anything for that?
What is your saving throw? is what I need to know.
Conscious saving throw. Let's see. I guess that's just my.
I don't think it's going to matter on this one. He's going to get a 17.
On my DC, my spell save DC is a 14. So.
All right. So you raise your holy symbol up as light begins to issue out from it. Though as it washes over him, he just kind of recoils from it for just a second. And as the light begins to dim away, his eyes open up, trickles of red appearing on the iris as the frenzy of bloodlust seems to take him over. Must feed. I believe that is going to be your turn, William, unless you'd like to move.
I can't. Can I move? And I can't move and still drag the father away with me.
You haven't managed to grab the father just yet.
Okay. No, I'm gonna stay there, where I'm at.
Okay. Vinka.
Wait, I'm super excited for this. Vinka is actually going to back up 1 square. Actually, hold on, let me double check. Yeah, it should be fine. She's gonna back up 1 square, and this is a spell I've always wanted to use. I'm going to cast Witch Bolt.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll. So you go to cast it as you take 1 step back. Unfortunately, that can't be right. You only rolled a 2 either way. As you go to release it, you step behind the pillar, and the lightning just catches the pillar full force in the center. Unfortunately, that is not going to have much effect, I'm afraid.
Okay.
That attack roll is definitely wrong, but even with a 2, I don't think there's anything you could have done about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and fix it.
Alrighty. Dirk.
Okay. Well, seeing the great aim of our ranged person over there, Dirk decides it's for the best if he were to not be downrange of her and move upwards. And he is then going to swing his Warhammer, because that's what he's good at. There we are.
That hits. As you slam into his back for a solid blow, feeling something smash underneath, but even so, pulling the hammer away, the damage is continuing to disappoint you. I believe that
I might have to get my bigger hammer out.
Alrighty. Coming to the boy's turn. He has still not managed to get really anything done here. He is going to swing at Shava once more. Shava, he reaches out and he grabs you by the shoulder, kind of holding you in place. And as he begins to hold you in place, you see him open his mouth, 2 fangs extending from his incisors as he is going to try and bite you.
That's not good.
His teeth sink down into your neck. You are going to take 5 points of piercing damage, 7 points of necrotic damage. Your maximum hit points are going to be reduced by 7.
Jeez.
And as you see him lean over and bite Shava on the neck, you see the wounds that you have done to him, slowly begin to heal over. Alrighty, that is his turn. Shava.
Shava's gonna try. Is he still holding on to Shava?
He is still holding on to you, yes.
She's just gonna try to get free then.
Alright, athletics or acrobatics, that is your choice.
We will fail acrobatics, and we'll fail anyway.
You go to pull free, but as you pull free, you realize he's still biting into your neck. So you basically just rent his fangs into your throat. Not doing more damage, but it is a very unpleasant feeling.
Yeah, Shava just kind of like shrieks out. But that will end her turn because she's trapped.
Alrighty. William.
I am going to kind of, I'm not going to try to pull the father away at this point. I'm going to kind of give him a little shove, as I've been doing, and tell him, get up, do something for God's sakes. And I'm going to, let's let's see. I'm not real sure on these. Let's go healing ward on Shava, since I just saw her get her throat half ripped there. Let's see. Creature of your choice you can see within range gets 1d4 plus spellcasting ability, which is wisdom. Okay. Pardon me, I'm not proficient in D&D here. What's my wisdom? Is cool, 6. So 1d4 plus 6.
No, 1d4 plus. It can't be plus 6. You don't have that high a wisdom modifier.
That's what the thing says there. Let me check. What is that number by my wisdom? I'm proficient.
It's a plus 4.
Oh, okay.
It's 1d4 plus 4. That is your saving throw.
Oh.
All right.
There's 6.
Shava, you will get 6 hit points back.
Thank you.
The light washes over you, and it is warm and comforting, but there is a coldness that is seeping down through your neck. All right. That is William. So that's not you, William. That's just your bonus action. You still have your action.
Oh, that's just a bonus?
Yep. Healing word is just a bonus.
Hell's bells. Is the father like out of it?
He seems to be cowering in fear at the moment.
Pussy. All right, screw it. Then I'm just going to go ahead and stand up and pull my mace out and just go for a big old clobber right on that guy.
All right. Well, you do need to move closer because you're not currently in range.
Take that, you bastard.
All right. Yeah. You pull your mace out and you try and do this fancy thing where you swing at him while you draw it, but unfortunately he just kind of leans back with Shafa and you miss him entirely. Not a very efficient roll, but
I'm
no harm
terrible
done.
at this game.
You're not terrible. Blame the dice. Inca!
I want to try that again. It's gonna be my last spell slot because I'm Warlock. I only get 2. Let's give the Witch Bolt a try.
Come on, Witch Bolt.
Unfortunately, a 13 is not high enough to hit either.
Fucking
As the lightning crackles along your fingers and you release it in his general direction, he kind of envelops Shava, and the two of them tussling back and forth prevents you from getting a good shot.
That's fair.
Alrighty. Unless you're going to move, we come to Durk.
Okay, you hosers, this thing's a little bit too much for us. We better get out of here before anything bad happens. I hate to see my willful employers get hurt. And I swing at it.
Unfortunately,
As I was saying,
unfortunately, you will miss. As you swing wide, the two of them enveloped, being... Your caution is, unfortunately, robbing you of any damage you could be dealing. Back to his turn. On his turn, he is going to lean back, and he is going to try and bite down on Shava once more. That is going to be a 23 to hit.
Jesus.
As he bites down into you once more, Shava, that is going to be 7 points of piercing damage and 4 points of necrotic damage. And that 4 points of necrotic damage will also reduce your maximum by a further 4.
Okay, so that's
11
this is where I die.
And as he finishes drawing away, he kind of lifts his head up, letting the blood run down his throat. It's spraying up into the air, and he says, "Finally!" He shoves Shava down, looks around, and he is going to try and shove you out of the way, William. I would like for you to make your choice of athletics or acrobatics check, please.
Let's see. I will do athletics.
So as his hand shoves into your chest, an inordinate amount of force hits you as you are pushed 10 feet this way.
Oof.
And as he does, he turns and begins to flee for the door. This will provoke an attack of opportunity from you, Shava.
And she
you,
will
Dirk.
take that attack.
And Dirk as well. All right. Dirk, you've managed to slam down onto his shoulder for a decent amount of damage.
Yeah, run away.
And it misses.
Unfortunately, your footing is a little off. As you go to stab out, he nimbly slaps out of the way as he makes his way over towards the door and begins to run for the exit, screaming, "Finally free!" Java.
Shava is a little upset. So she's gonna drop her rapier on the floor in front of her and draw her longbow.
Okay. All right, that will hit. Okay. Alrighty, 6 points of piercing damage as that arrow again splinters off his back. That arrow being far too damaged for any chance of recovery.
That's all she's gonna do.
All right, William.
I'm going to cast command and tell him to hold or stop.
Okay.
To get him to freeze. Freeze, motherfucker.
He'll make a wisdom save. That is an 8. You kind of see him stutter in his tracks, like he desperately wants to keep running, but something is holding him. He just can't seem to bring himself to move any farther.
Yeah, let's see. That's a regular action, right? Okay. Do I want to move? I'm not going to move just yet. I think I'll stay right there. I got him to stop. Let's see if somebody else can do something.
Okay. Vinka.
Somewhat irritated with her lack of spell casting prowess today, she is going to try and use Eldritch Blast on him while he is currently frozen.
Eldritch Blast.
That will hit. It slams center into his back. Why don't you actually go ahead and describe your Eldritch Blast? I realize I haven't given you that opportunity yet.
I imagine it's kind of blue in color. Probably makes some sort of noise as it screeches across the room.
Okay. So this bluish Eldritch Blast streaks across the room, some kind of whistling sound emanating from it, almost like a tune as it slams into his back. And he stutters for a moment, but still doesn't seem any more intent on fleeing. Dirk.
Dirk Hardsteel sees a creature that is trying to run away and feels sympathetic, but his mace has no sympathy, for it is made out of steel and wood, and thus cannot feel. I don't suppose that command gives me advantage.
It doesn't need to. A 15 is exactly what you needed to hit.
Yay!
As you step up to this immobile boy and slam your mace into the back of his head, cracking it forward, but not managing to draw even any blood.
I think there's something wrong with your boy there, priest.
He's currently on the floor just remembering, "Please don't kill me! Please don't kill me!" All right. On his turn, you see him moving, like he's trying to usher every fiber of his being to move, but he can't seem to bring himself to do it as we come to Shava's turn.
Shava is going to... she's not feeling too well, so she's going to go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on herself.
Okay. All right, 10 points of healing. And you may move as well, but we'll move on to William after that.
All right, I'm going to let's see. Where's my ruler here? All right, I'm going to quit. I'll go over here and swing my mace again.
Okay. That hit.
Boom. Yeah.
It cracks him again on the back of the head. And in that briefest instance, the repeated blows that are dealt to him, as you pull your mace away, you see the smallest drop of black ichorish blood drop free from your mace. As the back of his head is seemingly wounded, but even as you watch it, you can see even the hair itself knits around and starts to close over the wound. He is still healing. You have not managed to stop that just yet. Vinka.
Okay, she's going to move closer to get a clearer shot and do another Eldritch Blast at this fellow.
Okay. That'll hit. All right. That slams into the side of his shoulder, knocking him up against the wall. So he just kind of stumbles around, looking around, far more panicked now, like he's actually afraid rather than just hungry.
That would be it for me.
Dirk.
Hey, nerd, I appreciate that you decided to move so we aren't in your line of fire. As he doesn't look at the boy while swinging.
Yeah, you look over at her for a brief moment as you go to swing, and you just slam into the side of the railing.
Just see Vinka facepalm.
Scare tactics. It works every time.
On his turn, the wounds continue to heal, and you hear him scream out, "Father, please, don't let them kill me!" As he is going to dash, which will provoke from both Dirk and William.
Bang, bang. Come on,
William,
bud.
Hell.
you kind of stumble in surprise as you miss him entirely. Dirk, you managed to
Whiff.
smack him pretty hard off the back of the head. As he darts away, jumps up onto the ladder, and with one fell movement, seems to swing himself up into the church above. And then disappears out of your view. You can hear his footsteps over the rain outside as they very quickly make their way across the floor and over towards what you assume to be the door. But that is his turn. Shava.
Yeah, Shaba's not going to give chase. She'll look at the father. She'll just kind of poke him with her shoe a bit. Does he react at all?
You poke him with your shoe, and he just kind of looks over. Please don't hurt him. Don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me.
Yeah, she'd just offer a hand to help him up.
Make a persuasion check.
Take my hand.
You're gonna look down at him, and as that moment he kind of looks around. Is he gone? Is my boy gone? He'll take your hand. You can kind of pull him up to his feet.
Yep, and that'll be my turn.
Alrighty. William.
The boy is fled. Are we giving chase? Are we letting this boy go?
I can't foresee any foreseeable consequences for letting a Wendigo go on the loose.
Well,
Irina and Eastmark are upstairs. We have to warn them.
Oh, yeah, them too.
crap. You're right. All right, so I will. I'm gonna go check on things upstairs.
Wendigo.
1, 2, 3. It is the extent of your movement to get up to the top of the ladder and into the room upstairs.
Cool.
You still have your action if you would like to try and dash or what have you. If you'd like to basically chase out.
Can I see the room from where my first movement got me?
I mean, you are currently right here.
Okay, then. Oh yeah, because we went down the little trap door.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll use my dash action and yeah, I'll go out here and check on these fine folks and make sure that they're okay.
You see Ismark has his sword drawn. Arena behind him is the same. And as you look at them, they're just kind of looking out towards the two double doors out front, which you can see have both been thrown open.
He's
and Ismark will
fled.
say, he fled the other way. Out into the village.
I will yell back down into the hole. He's fled into the village.
Happy William. Minka.
She is going to dash up the stairs.
All right. It's 40 to get to here.
Okay, that'll be fine. I move
10 feet more. You can get just to the door. That is your limit. You see Ismark and Arena. They seem to be fine. William is standing next to them, but that is all you manage to see from there.
Dirk.
Dirk will follow, ignoring the fact that the priest is being a pissant up the stairs.
All right. 30 gets you to the top of the stairs.
Okay. And then I will 5. I'll use my action to pick up the halfling like a football.
Okay.
And continue running with her.
Well, it was 30 to get to the top of the stairs.
Dashing. Oh yeah, dashing is an action. I'll pick up the halfling as a football and say, "We're on our way. We're on our way there, kiddo."
All right. You hear the calls of Doru as he flees farther and farther away into the town, screaming, "Free! Free! I'm coming, father!" As we are going to end initiative there. You all may continue chasing him as you see fit, but if you do, we'll be moving into a chase sequence.
Oh, I'm glad I don't like anyone in that town.
Dirk, you will set me down or I will hurt you.
Oh, that's very cute. Boops you on the nose.
I like to imagine she's got her tiny little fists just slamming up against his side.
Hey, Will, catch. Should we go after that? I think he's just gonna do his own thing for a little while.
Maybe we should alert the village.
I don't think any amount of alert will... I couldn't do a dent to that thing. The village is already dead. We can just count them as dead. We can just keep going.
The village is already dead?
It has a unstoppable healing monster. A Wendigo, if I've ever seen one before. And believe me, I've seen a Wendigo before.
Listen, I don't think we're cut out for that thing.
I'm curious. I thought the priest was his father, but as he ran off into the village, it seemed like he was screaming for a different father. Did I understand that correctly?
I thought he meant father as in priest.
Well,
you know, like the man that's in the basement.
I did too, originally.
Speaking of, I'm super impressed that the priest survived after being stabbed multiple times. Tough old bugger.
I mean, I just saw our other friend down there, the crazy one who had their imaginary friends eaten by an imaginary house, get stabbed multiple times and bitten. So, I think that priest just has an equal amount of moxie as she does.
Is the priest coming? Did he come up too?
He is not yet. He and Shava are still down below. Speaking of which, Shava, as you kind of help him up, the glittering shield hovering around the father, looking him over, go ahead and make me a quick perception check down here. Okay. Looking him over, you don't notice any signs of damage on him. You don't think that the boy even managed to get a hand on him other than grabbing onto his shirt.
Yeah, Shop will look at him and she just go, Father, are you okay?
I'm fine. You seem to be far worse off.
And she'll just kind of like reach for her neck and she'll go, yes, I'm feeling a bit off.
Would you like me to look at that for you?
That would be much appreciated.
We'll have to head back upstairs. I can't see a damn thing down here. And he'll take a moment to...
She'll head up.
All right. So you start to head back up, and as you make your way over to here, just past the stairs, you see something that was missed in the middle of the fight, a gleam of something dripping down the sides of the walls. And the thing that is dripping down the sides of the walls is the words, "A father feeds his son." Seemingly both drawn in blood and scraped by some sort of sharp object. You all can make your way upstairs and rejoin with the party. As you all congregate and get around, you can see that the father's wounds he doesn't seem to be overly damaged. There are puncture marks in each of his shoulders from where he was grabbed, but no claw marks or any bite marks on him that you can see like you saw of Shava.
But he looks human still.
Still seems to be human.
Okay.
Nothing about him has changed as far as you can tell.
Shava, how are you? Do you need more healing, or are you all right for now?
And she'll say, the father has offered to assist me.
Ah, very good.
Indeed.
I'm afraid my talents aren't great for healing.
This is fine. It is the least I can do for saving my life.
Speaking of saving your life, you're looking pretty good there for a person who went toe-to-toe with a Wendigo for 5 rounds.
Take a +10 there, Shaba. Let's see what cast Cure Wounds on you.
Nice.
I believe I was just blessed by the Morning Lord. His magics and his spells kept me safe. Prayers of sanctuary.
You know, I don't know enough about this Morning Lord, nor how to spell that. Is it M-O-U or M-O-R?
As in the morning.
That not helpful. Okay, well...
The sun.
Instead of the evening, Dirk.
Look, William. You don't have to be condescending about it. But, well, I'm glad that your faith can do you something. You know what? Can I buy that holy symbol off of you?
No.
I will not sell you this one, but I do have others in the other rooms.
Ooh, I will gladly take one of those. If this Morning Lord can keep me from being bit by a Wendigo, then I'll take it.
All right. He will excuse himself for one moment, and he will make his way over into this room. He is only gone for a moment before he returns with a wooden holy symbol of what appears to be a sunburst. And he will just hand it to you and says, "For helping save my life, it is a small thanks."
Okay. I put it in the same pouch as my Bahamut holy symbol.
Okay.
Okay. Second question. What do we do now?
I'm afraid I don't have an answer for that.
Something is not right in this village. I shouldn't even be here. Poor Shava has lost her companions to a death house. And now this creature, what did you call it? A what?
A Wendigo.
A Wendigo?
Yes.
Has run off into the night. Are there some village elders, or maybe we should alert the militia?
Just got done burying the last village elder of this town, and there is not a militia.
Oh my. Well, I might recommend relocation, Father.
There's more than one reason I wish to get my sister out of here.
Your sister?
Arena is not safe in Barovia.
Finka would tap and then point to Irina and be like, what?
Well, then let's get him out of here. We should flee.
I like your reasoning there, William. This is probably the best idea you've had so far.
When you say that, Giesmark will turn to Arena and say, I think it's time, Arena. I don't think that there's anything keeping you here now. Father is buried. I will handle the village to the best of my ability, but it is time for you to move on, somewhere safe. And as he's saying that, the father will actually make his way over to the two of them, kind of put a hand on each of their shoulders in a consoling way and say, if you are seeking refuge, the fortified town of Valaki would be safe. But the safest place for you, I would imagine, would be the Abbey of St. Markovia.
The Abbey of St. Markovia. How far away is that?
It's on the other side of a valley in the village of Kresk.
What say all of you?
I'm fine for this journey, but is it safe to travel at night?
No.
Perhaps we should leave at dawn.
Well, just to refresh your memory, you all came here pretty much right after you woke up. It's like 3 hours after you woke up.
Oh, wow. So it's like morning.
Yeah, it's still morning.
Oh.
I just remember the rush last session to bury the father before nightfall, so I thought it was closer to nightfall than it is.
No, you all came and did this as soon as you all woke up.
All right.
All right, I guess we can go now.
So I'd look at the father and I'd say, before we left, however, Father, you wouldn't happen to have any holy water lying around. It seemed to help earlier.
I'm afraid I do not have any of that. The church is far too poor. I am sorry.
That's okay, Father.
You kind of nod his head sadly. If I could do more, I would.
Well, you've done more than enough.
Well, he'll kind of shake his head back and forth and say, no, I have not. But I will pray to the Morning Lord for your safety. May bright light guide your path.
Just make sure that no one is eating anyone inside this town. You shouldn't get any more Wendangos. Okay?
That will fall on me, and I will do my best to ensure that no one else is turned.
Okay. Not to be awkward, but maybe we should just get going right now. I don't see any reason to get any good pleasantries in here, considering I'm not being paid to be here.
Ismark will nod, and he will take off the pack that he's been carrying and just kind of hand it over to Arena. Everything that you need. Just be careful out there. She'll nod her head. They will exchange a hug for the moment, and she will take the pack. But she will move over towards you all to join with your side as the group that will be leaving before too long.
We'd get some general directions as to where we're going, and then I'm curious, is it raining still outside?
It is.
And the Wandango didn't run out into the sunlight or anything. I suppose they can handle cloud cover.
You don't know?
Yeah, I don't know.
You do not see him? You do not know? If no one has anything else further to ask the father or anything of that effect, you all can make your way back into the village of Barovia. You are, I imagine, thankful to hear there are no screams of panic, nor screams of terror, no screams of an attack being currently taking place as you make your way back through the middle of town towards the crossroads that lead throughout. When you make it there, Irina will kind of look off towards the west and say, if we want to make our way towards Falaki, then the west road, the old Zvalich road, would be the easiest path to follow. It cuts through the mountains to the center of the valley.
I mean, it may be the easiest path, but that also means it's the easiest for us to get followed. What about the second easiest path?
Then we have to climb the mountain.
Through the mountain it is.
It will be faster. We can get to where we're going quickly.
I do not know if we will make it there by nightfall, but we can certainly try.
Oh,
I believe there is a small encampment we could potentially camp at, one that the Vistani stay at. The Tsarpool, I believe it is called.
the who?
The Vistani. They are travelers. They make their way to and fro.
Well, should we try to head for that then? What'd you say,
fair.
Dirk? I couldn't hear you.
Anything to get out of this communist hellhole, I'll be glad to.
Okay. You all turn and start making your way along the west road. As you do so, the last thing you hear as you start to approach the last line of houses is the creaking of wooden wheels across the cobblestones. And as you make your way around the last corner, you see a woman completely covered in shawls, or very old, her hair done up in a bun with a pin sticking through it, pushing a wooden cart slowly along the streets.
This is before we've even left the village?
This is as you were making your way along the last houses, she's coming into the village.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Give her a greeting. Hello.
She'll just kind of look at you for a moment, but doesn't respond. As she kind of pushes her cart up towards one of the houses and just starts to bang on the door. Pies for sale! Pies for sale!
Oh. I'm sorry. Hold on, guys. I've got a thing for pies. I'm going to turn around and go back to her. And you pies, what kind of pies do you have?
She kind of turns her head towards you and adjusts her shawl against the rain. I have meat pies and fruit pies, the likes of which you've never tasted.
Yeah, I don't dig on meat pies too much. I will take a fruit pie. How much are the fruit pies?
1 gold.
That's a hella pie.
It is every bit worth it, I assure you.
This catches Vinka's attention, and she will run up, and he's like, do you have any cherry?
She kind of looks over at the cart for a moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm familiar with cons. Would this strike me as she's pulling every pie out of the same basket type deal?
Make an insight check.
Okay. Something smells fishy here.
That's the meat pie.
You have no idea.
Perfect form of capitalism right here. What a great granny.
Yeah, Vinka would all too excitedly shove a gold into this woman's hand for a cherry pie because she comes from wealth and she doesn't understand the value of $1.
Okay. She will lift over the top of her wooden cart, and you can see there are what look like 3 rows of about 7 pies apiece. Actually, I have a handout for this one. Give me one.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Second.
The pie handout.
The lovely woman Morgantha and her pies.
She looks totally trustworthy.
She absolutely looks totally trustworthy.
Oh.
She will pick one of the. She'll kind of run her hands along the pies, so she's trying to pick the right one, and she will just take it and she will hand it to you. Yeah.
Thank you, madam.
Now, what about you, sir?
I like apple. Do you have apple?
Yes.
I'll hand her a gold for an apple.
Okay.
Give it a
You hand her a
smell.
gold. She'll work her hands over. She'll pick one up and she'll hand it to you. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Uh-oh. Perception. Dun, 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 dun. Yes.
This does not smell like apple. It smells like, if you had to put your finger on it, it smells like boysenberry.
Boysenberry. Madam, this is not apple.
Is it not?
It is not.
Then I don't think I have apple. It's good anyways. You should try it. Just make sure you have somewhere to rest for the night. Helps you sleep.
Interesting. Now I'm worried. All right. I'll go ahead. Yeah, I'll buy the pie. What the hell? I like pies.
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
I am a sucker for pies.
Both of us, or
If he's the one eating the pie, sure. Okie dokie. So you start to bite down into this pie, and as you do, it is a very sweet and very tasty boysenberry pie. Very thick filling to it, and there's something about the crust that is just very overly flaky. You're not quite sure how they do it, but as you bite down into it,
Crisco.
you feel something soothing kind of wash through you. Not painful, not an unpleasant feeling, and you feel dazed for just a moment, but you kind of blink it off, and it just feeling disappears.
I see what you mean. I caught a little whiff of the sleepiness there. Interesting berries. Very tasty pie. Thank you, madam.
Yes. Now, if that's all, I must be on my way.
Yes, you've got several pies there that you need to sell. Good luck. Although, there's not very many people here, so...
I have a whole town to talk to.
You see she kind of turns and starts to wheel her cart to the next house.
Oh, right. Yes. All right.
Did you try your pie as well?
yeah,
Inca?
Mika would tuck in.
To make me a con save as well.
She couldn't stay out of that cherry pie. She was way too excited about that cherry pie.
As you taste yours, you realize in horror, yours is also boysenberry. It seems that she only had, apparently she only had the one type of fruit pie. But as you bite into yours, it is a very appealing taste. Though when you bite into yours, the flavor disappears almost immediately. And the rest of you see as Vinka just starts to stare off into space.
Oh no.
Vinka, as you are sitting there, you kind of blink a few times, and as you open your eyes, you realize you're sitting in a familiar cherry orchard. It's bright. It's very warm. Birds are singing in the trees. You can hear the sounds of people going to and fro with work. There is a very gentle breeze blowing through, but not enough to disrupt the pages of your book. It's absolutely perfect.
She would actually enjoy this because she's like visiting her home again, and it's just relaxing.
But as the rest of you look at her, she is just sitting there, her hand still on one pie, in the pie, just staring off into space.
Oh, geez.
I believe the sleepy effect of the pie has struck poor Vinka.
Oh, I don't know if I'm mad or if I respect her even more.
Shoppa's gonna give her like a tap on the shoulder.
All right. You just give her a soft little tap. No response.
Is gonna have to take care of me for a bit.
Okay.
I'm tripping.
At least it's a good trip.
I wonder what you put in here. Is it like opium? What is it?
Yeah, Shoppa would look at Dirk expectantly.
Look, I don't have too much. Okay, I'm gonna look at the pie and see if I can figure out if there was any additives in this, and if I could identify it.
Make me a straight intelligence check.
Ooh, I'm not very good at those.
Do you have proficiency in herbalism?
No.
Then it's a straight intelligence check. As far as you can tell, just examining the pie, it seems like fruit, flour. You don't find anything else. Maybe hints of nutmeg and cinnamon, but nothing that would suggest a powerful effect like this.
Okay. Well, I don't do this every day, but I'm going to give our good friend Vinka here one of my cures and see if that will wake her out of the stupor. So I'm going to do it for free, just for her. I'll pull one of my tinctures out of the bandolier, undo the cork, force open her mouth, and shove it as far down as I can.
Okay, Binka, make me a con save. Vinka, you are ripped almost as quickly as you come into this place. You feel something vile start to wash down your throat, and you come back to your senses as you begin to horribly vomit.
Mind if I describe?
Can I get it on Dirk's shoes?
Sure.
It tastes like you've taken a handful of mints and chewed them at the same time and tried to wash it down with espresso that's been burnt. And after all of that, coats your throat and makes it so when every time you breathe, it's like breathing through fire. You realize that there's this grit that's just stuck in all of your teeth. That's just grinding every time you bite down slightly as the glitter just coats the inside of your mouth.
At least the glitter isn't actual metal filaments, which were, I think, part of the snake oil potions way back in the day.
No, this is just regular old asbestos and fiberglass now.
Jesus.
Yeah, thinking it's pie. She doesn't realize that someone actually poured this down her throat. Thinking it's a pie, she immediately drops it, and she's like, "Oh, that's awful."
I turn to William. See, Billiam, this is why my stuff works. And I look back. Are you okay?
I feel awful. You can carry me now.
Okay. I will do, little one.
We should get going so that we can make the camp by nightfall.
Okay. So with this distraction no longer ahead of you, you all make your way off towards the south, following the old Isvalich Road. Luckily, the road itself is a distinct path, the only well-worn path that any of you see as you continue to follow it. But it is easy to follow, and there is no real chance of getting lost. Within the hour, you all have made your way out of the town proper, and you cross over a river that Arena will point out as the Iblis River. It flows under what appears to be a very well-built stone bridge, and this water, unlike the water you all saw when you first entered the valley, is clear as a blue sky. Apparently very clean. But you pass by that with a quickness and continue your way on. It is another 2 hours on the road, past noon easily, later in the day, when you all come to a crossroads. Here you see an old wooden gallows creaks in a chill wind that blows down from the high ground to the west. A frayed length of rope dances from its beam. The well-worn road splits here, and the signpost opposite the gallows points off in 3 directions. Barovia Village to the east, Sarapul to the northwest, and Ravenloft/Valaki to the southwest. The northwest fork slants down and disappears into the trees, while the southwest fork clings to an upward slope. Across from the gallows, a low wall, crumbling in places, partially encloses a small plot of graves shrouded in fog.
This is a ominous crossroads. What was the name of the place we were supposed to be heading? That was the place down, right?
That is to Valaki. But as you all approach here, Irina will say, I believe that this to the northwest is where the Sarapul encampment is, if we wish to try our luck staying the night with the Vistani.
I think we're going to have to, if we can't travel at night. What do you all think? Or should we make a camp?
Sure. I don't exactly have any sleeping arrangements though. No tents, no pillow, no blanket.
Well, maybe we can head on to the Vistani then. Maybe they've got some stuff we can borrow. If they'll have us.
I mean,
Just my idea. What do you all think?
Yeah, Shaba agrees with that. She's got no problem with that.
As you all turn off towards Northwest Road and start to make your way along, Dirk, as you kind of trail along behind the others, you hear very soft dunk, dunk, dunk footsteps off in the distance, seemingly on wood. And as you turn around, you hear a snapping of a rope. And as you look back to the gallows, you see there's a body hanging there now.
well, hey, guys.
Where did that come from?
Well, you know, it magically appeared there out of thin air, and some sort of contraption. I'm gonna follow the rope up the tree to see if there's any like release mechanism. Maybe this guy was just hiding in a tree, and someone wanted to scare us off with it.
As you look over to the gallows, it is the same rope that was cut when you all walked past the first time. And as you kind of look at it, trying to determine what mechanism may have done this, the body slowly turns to face you, and you realize you're looking at your own corpse.
Oh, that's not funny.
Most disturbing.
I poke it.
All right. So you kind of walk over to the gallows. You have to make your way up because they're kind of set off to the side away from the trees. And as you get closer to it, you see that it clearly is your body. There's not really any mistaking it. It has no equipment. There's nothing on it other than the rope tied around its neck. It is slightly grayer, as if it's been dead a while. But even as you make your way closer and kind of examine it, you notice that there is a little cut from when you were younger and you fell along its left ribs, something that not many people should know about. How this came to be here, you're not sure, but it is unmistakably a copy of you.
I check for my hidden butt cheek scar.
You find your hidden butt cheek scar.
I do not appreciate this. Well, he's a handsome devil.
Now, as each person looks at it, it looks like us, or...
You all see Dirk.
Oh, we all see Dirk hanging. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I was about to say, quit looking at my corpse's butt.
It is almost 6 foot tall and very heavily built.
Well, I'm glad to know that I have fans here, although I don't remember peddling anything here before.
This is a terrible omen.
What's with you and omens?
This one is an omen, and it's terrible, isn't
Someone's
it?
messing with us. Although I will say that you have a very, very good understanding of my anatomy. Wonder how they saw that. Anyway, I should probably destroy this corpse. No, wait, this corpse could be useful.
No. We either leave it alone or we destroy it.
I wouldn't have to be Dirk Heartsteel anymore.
Now we're wasting time.
Oh. When the world gives you lemons, you make lemonade. I see a perfect excuse to be able to get away with a crime.
We cannot haul this body around with us. We have to make the camp.
We don't have to do it in one piece. It could be a messy murder.
Oh my
I
gosh.
could take the arm off. You could carry the leg.
I will say a silent prayer for whatever this thing is, and I know it's not really Dirk, because Dirk is right here. And then I'm going to start walking down the road. Let's go.
Fink, still feeling really sick, just follows William.
Okay.
No imagination on any of you, but I am going to cut the thing down before I leave.
Yeah, so I would give it a passing glance and then walk off to follow everyone else.
As you go up to cut the rope above it, you notice that when you sever it, the frayed ends just kind of start to fade away until the entire body just bleeds away into mist.
Shit. Okay. Okay. That's not cool. That's really not cool. Any of you guys know any wizards that you pissed off recently?
It's an omen, Dirk.
Stop with the supernatural heebie-jeebies. Let's get going.
Supernatural. Says the man who asked for a holy symbol from the last priest we just saw. To add to his other holy symbol that he already has.
It'll come in handy.
Mm-hmm. We must move. This place is not safe.
I agree.
Poor Vinka looks like she needs to get to a latrine soon. She's looking a little yellow around the gills.
Oh, no, that just means the medicine's working.
Oh.
Oh, wait, you put your awful medicine in my mouth?
Free of charge.
Oh.
You may need to seek a healer if you get worse.
You'll be fine. Hundreds of people have drank this tonic, and all it does is make sure that you're wide awake.
She's not impressed.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on Vinka. As I am the healer of the group, I will keep an eye on her just to monitor her. Make sure she's doing well as we travel.
All right. As you all break your way off towards the northwest, the road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of wagons. The canopy of mist and branches suddenly gives way to black clouds boiling far above. There's a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures around a bonfire. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest's edge.
Can we see any people walking around, or everybody seems
There
to
are
be...
several people.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to walk right in like I own the place. Hey, greetings.
All right. As you walk in, like you own the place, a few of them look over at you, but as they give a moment to just kind of look at you, oh, that is the wrong song. They kind of appraise you for a moment, but then they smile and they wave at you. Come, join us for a drink.
Ah,
We have wine.
my favorite.
The fire is warm.
Come, friends. I think we're welcome here. My name is William Catesby. These are my party. We're on our way to... What's the name of the place we're on our way to? Out of character. What's the name of the place?
Arena will say, Alaki.
Yeah, Lucky. Sorry, terrible memory. Yeah, so I'm going to give them a greeting. Here's my party. Here's where we're off to. Thank you for your hospitality. I will go near the fire and eagerly accept whatever goblet of wine comes my way.
Yeah. The individual will introduce himself as Adric, and he will point around, introducing several of the others individuals as well. And as you kind of move to set over by the fire, he will just pass you the wineskin he himself is drinking from.
Oh, sweet.
Drink up, enjoy. It is good. Purple grape mash number 3.
Ah. Awesome. Yep, I'll take a big drink. And then I will pass it to Dirk.
I don't drink, and I pass it over to the small one. You should only take a half sip. It doesn't usually mix too well with my medication.
Before he
Jesus.
can finish that, she just kind of like, and then tries to wave it away.
All right. Well, come next to the fire, Vinka. That might make you feel better.
Yeah, and she comes and sits by William because he's apparently group dad now.
What happened to the little one? Did she eat something bad?
A pie, and then I cured her with one of these great tonics that I have across my belt here.
You cured her.
Yes, I cured her. She was staring into the abyss, and the abyss was staring back, and this brought her back.
For a moment, they kind of look at you. The accordion starts playing again, and he just kind of, I see. Well then, if any of us take sick, I may have to ask you about that.
Absolutely. It's a mere 10 gold per bottle, but it will cure just about anything. It'll make sure that you're wide awake.
I would hope so for 10 gold. Perhaps we'll trade you one of our tinctures in return.
Oh, absolutely.
Ooh.
Shava, you want a drink?
She will decline politely.
Okay, it's on them, but sure. Puts the bottle back.
All right.
And so as it kind of gets passed back around, he'll take another drink himself and says, so, what brings you fine folks here?
Oh, you know, mist, and then running from a Wendango.
A what?
A Wendango.
A what?
A long, lanky man that likes to eat other people. But it probably was caused by someone eating another person and then their spirit getting angry and possessing something.
He kind of looks around you. What is he talking about?
A monster, okay? It's just a monster.
We encountered some form of undead at the last town that we were in, the village of... That was the village of Barovia, wasn't it, that we were in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the village of Barovia, some fanged creature that was attacking, but he fled out of the village. And now we're trying to get this person to safety.
A fang creature. Do you mean a vampire?
A
I'm pretty sure
vampire.
it was a Wendango.
We
I've seen vampires before. Never seen a Wendango. They're dangerous. You have to be careful with them. Thankfully, they tend not to bother us. But where are my manners? So, you all have come here fleeing a village in trouble. And as he says that, he kind of tilts his head to the side as if looking thoughtfully at you all for a second. Did you all happen to meet at the inn in Barovia?
Yeah, that's where we all ran into each other.
How do you know about the inn and that we would mysteriously all meet each other that way?
When you say that, he kind of looks across the fire at an older-looking individual, bald on top and wispy white hair on the sides, and he will stand up and says, "So you're the ones that Madam Ava foresaw. She's been waiting for you."
Madam Ava.
Yeah, who's that?
She is the leader of our people, and a seer of great power. She saw your coming and told us to send you to her when you arrived.
That is an interesting omen.
Who is with you? And okay, sure. Omen to you too. Sure, we could go see her, but what's it about? What's it about?
You will have to ask her for that.
She
Okay.
foresaw us coming. Is this a common thing that she does?
She is a seer. She has the power to foretell the future.
Ah. She might be helpful.
Oh, yeah, someone. Go ahead. No, you're fine.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Shaba just would have perked up at that information. That's all.
Do you have a lot of conmen on these roads?
No, not that I am aware of.
But yet you speak of a seer.
She is not a con person. Her power is true. If you do not believe me, speak to her yourself.
Sure.
She is waiting.
Okay.
Dirk,
Yeah. What?
your constant skepticism brings shadow upon your own product.
I don't understand what any of that meant.
Another face palm from Vinka.
Yeah, Shaba will just kind of look at him.
I don't have any skepticism. I don't wear glasses.
You think everybody who does anything similar to you is a con?
Oh, that's what you mean. I mean, to be fair, most people aren't as honest as I am.
You're probably right, Dirk, although I said that with about 20% conviction.
On a conviction.
What time is it? Did we make it there by nightfall? Is it dark out now?
It's not quite dark yet. You've been traveling for about 3 hours. It's getting closer later in the day. If there was a dusk here, you would assume it's been coming up pretty soon. But
Right.
it's close enough to where you all could consider just camping here for the rest of the night.
Gray skies and mist. Who can tell what time of day it is? Well, I'm interested in this seer. Does anybody want to? I would rather talk to this woman, assuming if she is dark, that we see her before it's literally dark out.
Sure.
He will point over towards the one tent that is set away from the others, the one that is next to the lake. She is waiting inside.
Why does she go so far out there?
She likes her solitude.
Hmm.
She does not drink and act in revelry as the rest of us do.
Awesome. Very good, sir. Thank you. Would you guys? Are we all going? This is interesting.
Yeah, Shaba definitely wants to go.
Especially if she foresaw us coming, Dirk.
Look, do you not know how a con works? You say X, Y, Z that are very broad and general statements, and then they go make you confirm it. And then they go, and then they foresaw it in the future. Like, it's not that hard to do.
We haven't spoke to her yet. She saw us before she met us.
These people could just be saying that in her stead. And then we go over there, they send a messenger that's faster than us, and then she knows a bunch of things about us because we talk to them.
Such a skeptic. I will wave my hand at Dirk. And
if she asks for a gold coin, I'm punching her.
You will do no such thing.
No, you will not.
She would have foresaw the punch. Let's go.
So all right, you all finally decide to make your way over towards the seer's tent, and that is where we'll take our break. We'll step away for a brief moment. Everybody stand up, stretch your legs, get yourself a tasty beverage, and we'll be back as soon as we're all ready. Should be more than 20 minutes, I imagine, but don't hold me to that. More Curse of Strahd is coming as the group will be meeting Madame Ava.
Madame Ava!
And welcome back. So, before we took our break, the group was making their way towards this Madame Ava's tent. As each of you approach, you can see magic flames cast a reddish glow over the interior of this tent, revealing a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds.
At last, you have arrived. I've been expecting you. Please come in and sit down.
Yes, Shaba will have a seat.
Nothing stranger. Vinka will also take a seat.
Yeah, she'll kind of wave her hand just around the carpet of the tent.
Anywhere you like, Vinka.
I'll continue to stand.
You know our names.
I know more than that. I know your name is William Catsby. I know that you studied in Candlekeep, and I know that you found your way here through mysterious circumstances.
Are you
Have you managed to find what you were looking for yet?
No. We were waylaid. We have to we're escorting this woman to someplace safer from the village that she was in.
She did not come in with you. It is all well. Irina Kolyanovich is not welcome here. But that is besides the point. Where shall we go next? Ah, yes, our lovely Vinka. I do love your hair.
Fluff up her hair. It's like, thank you for seeing us today.
You have your book with you too, don't you?
Oh yes, of course. I bring it everywhere with me, and she would like flip through a few pages to show the lady.
I was quite interested to see how you came about it. Typically, puzzles don't give you that much in return.
I was kind of surprised as well, but the book changes over time, and it becomes more.
And I don't think it's done yet. Java. I'm sorry to say that your adventure here has been troubling. But you'll survive the haunted house. You'll survive more yet, won't you?
I will endure too. And as she admits that the haunted house was real, Shaba will kind of look over at Dirk and just kind of say, "See, it did happen."
You should keep a close hand on that little pendant of yours. Though I would be careful of what it tells you. Self-interest is in great play. So who was last? Dirk, yes. Dirk, tall and strong. Managed to peddle any of your wares here yet?
A couple. Oh, I left a note for you in Discord, by the way. Yeah. You know, you do some good research here. I gotta say that. Some damn good research. How many people have you had follow us?
Follow you? I don't need anyone to follow you. I saw everything you've done here.
Sure, lady. Sure.
Dirk is a bit of an unbeliever in anything other than his own tincture. You'll have to forgive him.
I thought the corpse was frightening myself, but you took a great interest to it. What were you going to name it? Your fake name? Or were you going to give it the name Zeke?
You have some very... I don't know what you're talking about there, lady. You have some great investigators, I can tell. But no, that body, nothing compares to the real thing.
Well,
so were you the one who put it up there?
No, I didn't put that there.
Wait a minute.
This place has a habit of doing things of its own accord.
Is Dirk not your real name?
Dirk is my real name.
Well, don't let me ruin all the fun. You all came to me because I was expecting you, but I have a gift. Well, it is not so much a gift as a present. I've told you a little bit of your pasts, what I've seen, what I know, but I can tell you more about your futures. You all know where you are at this point, or has that escaped your grasp?
Ink would actually bite her bottom lip, and she'll stop them. It's like, it ruins the puzzle, the adventure, the journey to know our future. I am interested in the present, however, if you wish to tell us that.
Well then, If you do not want me to tell your future, that is your choice. But I do know that your presence in this land is an affront as much as a game. And there is one here who you must deal with if you ever wish to leave. By now, I'm sure you've heard the name of Strahd von Zarovich.
Yes, I've heard it several different places, but I don't know the significance of it.
He is the dark tyrant who rules over the mists. It is he who brings, it is he who traps. If you ever wish to see the sun again, then it is he who you will have to deal with.
Why haven't you and your people dealt with him? Don't you wish to travel out of the mists?
My people are the Vistani. The mists do not hold us. We may come and go as we see fit.
Interesting. I'm curious about my future.
Well, that is one for and one against.
I definitely want to see mine.
Wow.
She
me.
looks at you, Dirk.
Wow me.
She will kind of swivel her head over towards Vink and say,
Well, that is a future foretold, but I promise it will not spoil all the fun. Trust me.
That's
No,
all I ask for.
what I will tell you will be items of importance. For you see, to defeat Strahd von Zarovich, you must acquire artifacts of great power. Artifacts that will help you in your task. I know where these artifacts lie. Or rather, she will reach under the table and pull out a small deck and just set it down. I can find them.
Okay. At this point, Dirk is gonna start burning her hands, and the magic term, as in he's watching for any sleight of hand.
She will take a moment to shuffle the cards, but as she is doing so, she kind of slows down. And then she takes a moment to look around at each of you. She will set the deck down and say,
William,
give me 1 second here because I have one thing to set up. Hey.
why don't you draw the first card?
So what I would like you to do, Curtis, is you should see a deck on the bottom right of your screen.
Yep.
If you hover over it, you see one card slides up to the top. I would like for you to click that card and drag it over to the one spot over here, please. All right, we'll just put that in place. And as you do that, she will look over to you, Dirk, and say,
Dirk, why don't you draw the next one?
Sure. And before Dirk, draws a card, he's gonna cut the deck.
she just looks at you thoughtfully. She doesn't seem to mind.
Where am I dropping it?
Drop it over the 2 at the very top. I realize you guys can't see the numbers, can you? I'll tell you where these things go. Next, she will look over at you, Shava, and say,
Number 3, please. Right here.
Yep, Shaka will excitedly draw a card before placing it on the.
Oh, you clicked. You did not click and drag.
Yeah. So I have to draw
That's
another
fine.
one.
So that's the card that would have been. This happens.
Yeah, I'm trying to drag it. There we go. It's not- Okay.
There you go.
There we go.
Put it over on the 3. And then as you set that one down, she will look at you, Ving, and say,
And now you little Vinka. In the
Is,
bottom.
excited. Like she gives it a moment to feel which card is the right one for her, and then picks it.
Oop, oh, hold on. I actually just made a mistake. Whoopsie. Hold on. There we go. Go ahead and do that again for me. If I mess this up, I'll have to fix it. That's fine. Give me 1 second. Alrighty. At the last card, Madame Ava will just place a single finger on the top and just slide it over into the middle.
These cards will determine your fate. What cards have been drawn? You all had the choice. And what cards will be revealed are the one and the same.
As she reaches over towards the first card, she will place her finger right in the middle of it, just tap it once, and say,
William,
this card, give me 1 second. Paige, where you at, Paige?
this card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. If you would turn your card over, please.
Just click it.
So right-click it and click Flip Over,
Oh.
or Flip Card.
The trader. Look to the Wizard of Wines. In wood and sand, the treasure hides.
The Wizard of what?
Wines.
Of Wines. That's what I thought you said.
In wood and sand?
And wood and sand, the
Wood and
treasure hides.
sand is where my treasure hides.
And she will move her hand to the next card and just tap it on the top.
You are next, Dirk.
Are you done with this game?
The traitor. This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection. A holy symbol of great hope.
She kind of closes her eyes for a moment on this one, breathing in as if seeing something far off, before she will say,
Look for a wealthy woman, a staunch ally of the devil. She keeps the treasure under lock and key with bones of an ancient enemy.
Ooh, I'm so scared.
'Tis your future. There is no need to be afraid.
she will move her hand to the next card and tap it.
Java, this card shows of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight.
And she will excitedly flip her card over.
The hooded one. I see a faceless god. He awaits you at the end of a long and winding road, deep in the mountains.
Okay.
And this is where we see if we messed up. She goes up the bottom card.
Little finger, you're next.
Card over.
This card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. I see the ghost. I see a fallen paladin of a fallen order of knights. He lingers like a ghost in a dead dragon's lair.
Everything about this fortune, it just makes her eyes brighten. She's like, this is excellent.
She will move her hand to the middle card and she will say,
Your enemy is a creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him.
And she will flip that card over.
The executioner. I see a dark figure on a balcony, looking down upon this tortured land with a smile.
She kind of rolls her fingers for a moment until they crack. She will slowly run her hands over the cards and begin to shuffle them back into the deck.
These are the futures that I had foreseen.
That's some good improv you got there, lady. But if you had this information to tell us, why wouldn't you just tell us straight out and you know, not play this whole song and dance and be a fake seeker and all that old stuff? Like, why?
You still don't believe in my power?
Nope. I appreciate the showmanship, but conning a con man ain't exactly profitable.
I believe these are very fortuitous and ominous omens.
Of course you would.
And at that, Chopper would look at Dirk and be like, she mentioned great treasure. Aren't you at least a little curious?
You know, I can't say that I am not uncurious. She obviously went to great lengths to make sure that we met her. And she wanted to say this. I just don't appreciate that she had to do the song and dance to tell us.
I believe that she may have already met you once before, Zeke.
Don't call me that. My name is Dirk Hardsteel.
There.
Interesting.
I use a book to make lightning fly out of it. How is it so hard to...
Well, you're a wizard. That's how wizards work. This is just an old lady with a deck of cards.
She's
and
a
good sleight of hand.
seer. She's a seer.
As you kind of mumble around that, she just kind of looks at you, Dirk, very intently. And then as she kind of seems to look through you, she says,
On the mountain pass, as you reach your goal, a phantom will appear. Watch well, Dirk, for as your eyes are tapped, you will be carried into the night.
It's a threat?
I make no threats. I only foresee.
Sure. Well, why don't you and your body makers out there, who somehow were able to find out about my secret butt cheek scar, just leave me alone? Leave us alone. Thank you.
as you say that, she will dead on just look at you and say,
You're what?
Good acting. I appreciate it. But you can really drop the act now. Okay, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to walk out the tent now. Don't follow me. William, don't call me Zeke.
Dirk, have some manners. We need to stay with them for the night.
Deuces.
I'm gonna look at the lady and just go, I apologize for my associate. He fears everyone is like him.
As he well would. He has traveled enough with those types. But everything I have told you is true. Be careful. But that is all I have to tell you. You may go now.
I'm gonna look at it. I'm just gonna go, just one last question now. What can you tell me about the pendant?
Have I not told you enough?
I'm just gonna kind of look down. I'm gonna. It was a little ambiguous.
The future does not talk clearly. They are visions. It is not a book I am reading to you.
Finka would stand and bow and find her way out of the tent.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna put her head down and walk out.
We thank you for your time, madam.
Indeed. Now, go, rest. Vistani will keep you safe. Nothing will bother you here in the encampment.
Vinka, did she say that the woman we were with was not welcome here?
Not in the tent.
Oh, okay.
As you all make your way back outside, you can see Arena is sitting not next to immediately near the Vistani, but she is sitting around the campfire, and somebody's given her a wineskin. She's clearly been welcomed.
Very good.
She's just kind of idly sitting there drinking.
Stay away from the seer. Apparently, she's not fond of you.
Why would she not be fond of me?
She sees things we can't see, so who knows?
I see. Or perhaps I do not.
Well, that's all right, because what we don't see, she does. Now we have a little bit of a direction, I suppose, although I don't even really know where to start once we get you to your location. Perhaps, Dirk, did you go back to the tent, or have you wandered off into the woods?
Dirk was about 15 feet in front of you guys on the path down, and as soon as he got close to the camp, within like sight of it, he veered off just shallowly into the woods, probably a lot more shallow than the place he is, and you can just see him like striking a tree with his hammer.
Dirk, what are you doing to that tree?
He looks at you, then just continues striking it.
This is most curious.
Shava will call out, if you keep striking at nature, it will eventually strike back.
Smack.
Smack, smack, smack. He's going to keep on doing this until the tree fells. Hopefully it's a smaller tree.
Actually, as you get into this, one of the Vistani will actually call over, you know, if you want to chop the tree down, we have an axe.
And what? Do I have to pay 10 gold for it?
No, we could use the firewood.
This is where I'm sleeping. Go away.
Suit yourself.
My apologies. Dirk is having a moment.
Some find it difficult to accept Madame Ava's foresight. But there is nothing that she cannot foresee, even if she will not reveal it.
I believe Dirk found his future to be not what he wanted.
Some do. It is not always good that we have ahead of us. Sometimes we have death, or worse. But there is always wine. Come, you have not finished drinking yet. There's still more merry to be made.
Merry making. I love it.
Perhaps we shall have a tale. Stanimir has a tale.
Oh,
And you'll kind of look over.
Stanimir, a story you tell.
Yes, a story. Lovely.
Okay. As you make your way over, you all can gather around the fire proper. And as you gather around it, Stanimir will kind of stand up, take a long swig of wine, and they kind of look and says,
Which story? Which story should be told? The story of the Lord, or the story of the mage?
I'm kind of interested in the story of the Lord. That wouldn't happen to be Strahd, would it?
Ah, that is a good story.
he will take another, Cinnamon will fill his mouth with wine once more and then spits it into the fire. The flames turn from orange to green. As they dance and sway, a dark shape appears at the bonfire's core.
We come from an ancient land whose name is long forgotten. A land of kings. Our enemies forced us from our homes, and now we wander the lost roads.
The dark shape in the fire takes the form of a man being knocked from his horse, a spear plunging through his side.
One night, a wounded soldier staggered into our camp and collapsed. We nursed his terrible injury and quenched his thirst with wine. He survived. When we asked him who he was, he would not say. All he wanted was to return home, but we were deep in the land of his enemies. We took him as one of our own and followed him back toward his homeland. His enemies hunted him. They said he was a prince, yet we didn't give him up, even when their assassins fell upon us like wolves.
Deep in the bonfire, you see the dark figure standing with sword drawn, fighting off a host of shadowy shapes.
This man of royal blood fought to protect us, as we protected him. We bore him safely to his home, and he thanked us. He said, I owe you my life. Stay as long as you wish. Leave when you choose. And know that you will always be safe here.
The figure in the dancing fire vanquishes its final foe, then disperses in a cloud of smoke and embers. Stanimir's face becomes a somber mask.
That is the story of Strahd Bonsadovich. A story that is old, even now. Before this terrible curse has befallen him. His curse that will not let him die.
I find that story a terrible omen.
An omen, you say?
Yes.
You say that one more time, I'm gonna huck a rock at you.
You're not in here, Dirk. Hush.
Well, that is the story. There is another, if you would like to hear the story of the mage, and we have yet enough wine for me to tell it.
The mage, yes. Is this the Wizard of Wines by chance?
No.
Oh, bummer. Have you heard of the Wizard of Wines?
Yes, I've heard of the Wizard of Wines. Who has not in this land? They are responsible for making the wine that you are drinking right now.
Yes. And where are they located, perchance?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh. Persuade. Take that.
On the far west of the valley, south of Kresk. That is where their vineyard lies.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, I would love to hear your story of the mage. Vinka, would you like to hear the story of the mage? That last story was so cool.
Hear this story as well.
Well, he'll nod. He'll take another drink, but this one he will not spit into the fire.
A mighty wizard came to this land over a year ago. I remember him like it was yesterday. He stood exactly where you're standing. A very charismatic man, he was. He thought he could rally the people of Barovia against the Devil Strahd. He stirred them with thoughts of revolt and bore them to the castle in mass. When the vampire appeared, the wizard's peasant army fled in terror. A few stood their ground and were never seen again. The wizard and the vampire cast spells at each other. Their battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft to a precipice overlooking the falls. I saw the battle with my own eyes. Thunder shook the mountainside, and great rocks tumbled down upon the wizard. Yet by his magic he survived. Lightning from the heavens struck the wizard, and a god he stood his ground. But when the Devil Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic couldn't save him. I saw him thrown 1,000 feet to his death. I climbed down to the river to search for the wizard's body. to see if, he had anything of value. But the river Ivlis had already spirited him away. Legends say that he has not yet died, though, that he haunts the mountains, looking for those who would stop his conquest. If you come across a mad mage, you would be wise to run.
Both very ominous tales.
Does a rock just fly on the screen?
Biggest one I can find.
Oh, what was that?
But I have drank enough and spoke enough for the night. I grow tired. You are welcome to sleep on the ground around the bonfire as you see fit. It will be warm. Others will stay awake, and they will drink, but you need not worry about harm this night.
We thank you for your tales and your wine and your hospitality.
He will pick himself up, take one last swig of wine, and make his way off towards one of the tents to sleep in. Slowly but surely, many of the Vistana start to branch away and make their way closer towards the tents. Only 2 or 3 stay out on the fire. They still seem to be drinking very heavily and show no signs of slowing. But evidently somebody stays up to keep the fire stoked.
Right. I'll stay up and drink for a little bit until I see that my compatriots have drifted off and are resting, and then I'll go to sleep.
So, as time slowly drifts off, are you all going to set a watch for this long rest? Or are you all going to trust the good word of Madame Ava that you all will not be harmed?
I'm kind of trusting the good word. I mean, there's other people around too, so I figured we're all in this together.
Yeah, Shava will actually wake up halfway through everyone else's rest. And she's going to pull out that pendant and she's just going to study it for a while. She's going to try to attune to it, basically.
Okay.
Finka is going to sleep the whole night.
All right. What about you, Dirk? You're still trying to fell a tree with a hammer, which is not working for you. Honestly, you've been attacking this tree so much, you're more worried about the hammer giving way before the tree does.
Well, after what I assume is several hours of me attempting to fell a tree with the hammer.
Oh, if you've been at this for several hours, I'm afraid we're going to have to start imposing penalties on that warhammer. I concur. No, that warhammer is in pretty rough shape. I'm afraid it's going to be a -1 to damage from now on.
Could I have been using my maul because it's a bigger weapon?
You can. Either way, it's a -1.
Okay, my maul is now at a -1. He has partially cracked the shaft of it.
Yeah, it's not just you partially cracked it, you started to wear it down on the top. Parts of it have been breaking away.
Dirk will eventually give up, sit down on a close by log stump and wait until someone wakes up, which I guess would be Shava, and then fall asleep.
So you're not going to sleep until hours into the rest?
Yes.
Okay, make a perception check. It seems that you're going to be the first one to take a watch. And as well as William, because you just said that you were going to be up until everybody else was asleep.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
All right. As the night falls upon you, proper, sun disappearing from the sky, you all see as when the night falls upon, the mist hangs eerily throughout. The encampment itself has a very thin mist in it, as everywhere in this land does. It hangs low, it hangs high in the trees, almost like spider webs, crisscrossing everywhere. But as the night slowly rolls on, you do see a thick mist conjures on the lake of the Tsar pool, and it drifts lazily over towards the encampment. But as it does, it almost seems to break on the tent and spread itself longer around the river, wafting down and through the trees, almost like hands cupping you, but not quite reaching to grasp you. For those 2 hours, the night is calm, it is peaceful. And as you continue to look up, you see, looking above you, bats. What must be dozens of them just circling throughout the night sky, seemingly hunting, going about their business, crisscrossing back and forth, and occasionally there's shrill screeches reaching down to your ears.
A lot of bats around here.
But your watch will go off without any issue, minus fog and bat.
Right. Like, that's not enough.
As the night trails on, and most of you, are you actually going to get a full rest there, Dirk, or are you going to stay up half the night and push yourself?
I'm staying up half the night, but I'm going to attempt to sleep in.
Okay, so you're going to ask your party to wait for you tomorrow morning. All right. Okay. As the night wanes on, it is quiet. Shava, as you are sitting there in your trance-like state, focused on the events, numerous they are in this day, you are reliving everything that has happened to you, everything that has transpired, learning from it, trying to be better from it, as all elves do in their nightly trance. And as you are going through this affair, something stands off to you. You remember the death house. You remember the reliquary. You remember taking the demon-faced pendant. You remember being down in the dankness of the church undercroft. And you remember facing off the young boy who was tearing into you, biting you. But this time, as he finishes biting you, you kind of stumble away from him. And for that moment, he almost seems to forget that you're there, turning his attention towards the others, which never happened during the day. And as you kind of take a moment to reach your hand out, you look down and you see your skin is peeling off. It's like some form of necrosis is setting down into it. And as you kind of look up and down, you see your body is slowly but surely decaying away. And as you watch this happen, you look and you see the necklace hanging around your neck turns itself around to look at you and says, "You should really be listening to me more. I won't let you die until I am free." And that's where we're going to end our session this week.
Oh, I knew that was going to happen.
Why do all the creepy things happen to Shava?
So, that is our session this week, guys, for Curse of Strahd. I hope everyone enjoyed. It actually felt a little more of a light-hearted episode, which is fine. You have to have a little bit of the warmth and all of the darkness, but I'm sure we'll be getting back to the horribleness before too long. I have been your host, DM Lake. We have a few things that we're going to go over here before we go. We have a bevy of wonderful shows for you to check out here on TTRP Theater, the schedule of which is on our Discord.
It's down below.
It's down below as well. If you would click on that, we also have a Discord. Everyone is welcome to join. Please come chat with us. We are busy as can be. There's always someone in there to talk to about all manner of topics, whether TTRPG, creative, so on and so forth. We also have as many shows as you could ever hope to watch on many days of the week. Not quite full, but we're also looking to always expand. A few of these include Adventure with Advantage, which you may have caught earlier this morning. We also have Cult Heartlands on Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoons before our Land of Dark Dreams setting. Prowlers and Paragons, which, if memory serves, something new may be coming to Prowlers and Paragons. Keep an eye on that. A superhero epic set on Tuesdays. More of these I could give into you, but
it's too many.
Just watch them. You will absolutely enjoy what you find here, I assure it. And then come back next Saturday and enjoy what these misfits will manage to get themselves into on another episode of Curse of Strahd. Anybody else have anything before we hop out of here?
We are looking for OBS operators. So if
Yes.
you know how to run OBS, jump on our Discord. Get on our Discord and say something, because we're looking for OBS people.
Our resident channel leader here, Curtis, is the individual who runs pretty much all the technical stuff here on TTRP Theater, and it's a lot to do. He's responsible for all the games. He's responsible for all the operations, so we're looking to help him lessen that load just a little bit on him.
It is
Obviously,
a lot.
yeah, obviously here on Saturdays he's a player, so he's kind of got his hands full, but every little bit helps. Also, as I mentioned earlier, and you may find, we have a YouTube with all of our past broadcasts located locally. If you love what you saw here, but you hate that you missed out, you can always catch up on everything that is on the YouTube. Everything is documented. There are hours of content, more than you could ever hope to watch, unless you have all the free time in the world. It's great.
Yes, we offer a huge time sink.
Yes, a huge time sink of many varied topics.
Yeah.
Pathfinder, D&D, alternative systems, and not least of all, Cult. Two wonderful games of that. But that has been our Curse of Strahd, and we will see you next Saturday. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Night.
Night, guys.